Hi, I'm Wade Millard, and today I'm catching up with Senior Editor Kyle Alspach on CRN In Depth, where we cover a big story happening now with the reporter who covered the news. Kyle, we're talking today right after RSA 2024, the biggest event in the cybersecurity industry. What are some things that you picked up on?
I think the two conversations that just seemed to be everywhere at RSAC were Gen AI, not surprisingly, but also consolidation is a huge theme in cybersecurity right now. And Gen AI, continues to be just, something that has multiple security implications. The obvious one is that data is at risk because of Gen AI. And so people are trying to figure out how to protect against those threats. The attackers are using ChatGPT and tools like that to help with their attacks. And then also the third thing is just that security companies themselves are now using Gen AI as part of the tools that they're offering. So there's a lot of new announcements about that. As far as consolidation goes, we're continuing to see sort of this interest from customers and from partners in terms of not having there be quite so many tools that are out there. This term tool fatigue, it seems to be a very real thing that a lot of customers and partners are both dealing with. And so there was a tremendous amount of discussion about that at RSAC. And one of the interesting sort of angles there is that, it seems like the consensus is not that there's just going to be one security platform that has every possible capability on it, but the platforms are going to need to integrate better.
And what would you say is a takeaway for services partners?
I think that a big issue that maybe isn't getting thought about quite enough for partners, services partners, and all types of companies in the channel is just the need for more long-term thinking on security. There is so much going on. Security space is so overwhelming all the time. But I had some conversations at RSAC where people were making the point that we really need to look a little bit further down the road with some of the decision making that we're doing here. 5 years down the road, unfortunately, probably the attacks are going to be a lot worse than they are now. Even though it seems really bad right now, all indications, unfortunately, are pointing toward worsening trends. Gen AI is a big one for why that's going to be, but just generally speaking, the trend isn't going in the right direction, even with all the money that's being spent. And so that's, I think, a big thing for partners in terms of going to their clients and trying to, have these longer term sessions where you're thinking more a little further down the road about what you're going to need to be prepared to protect against in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, as opposed to just okay, we just want to get through the day.
Yeah, no, that's especially important. Why services partners need to be dedicated to this space, and why vendors are putting a lot of resources into the channel, right? I think you've really spoken to that. That'll do it for this episode of In Depth. Kyle, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And to read more about cybersecurity in the channel, please visit crn.com.